This is the Wizard of Pod. I'm Colum, Tyrrell. Thanks for watching. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, please, right now, hit subscribe, hit a like, and leave a comment. It doesn't matter what the comment is. Just leave something. It helps with the algorithm, all right? So please, it costs you nothing. It takes fucking 4 seconds, and we're going to keep growing this bad boy today. I have a special guest today. Dan Soder is on the podcast. Like every episode, it's going to be an hour, and then we keep talking for another 30 minutes, and that's behind a paywall. I have an alcohol addiction, and I need some money. So head over to patreon.com/Colum Tyrrell, and you can get it. There'll be a link in the description, and that's everything you need to do. So we just did the episode. TW, we're in Gas Digital right now because we're nomads. We're just sort of roaming New York, looking for spaces to record this podcast. So it's kind of, I like this sort of, is it vagabond? Vagabond? Vagabond is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, vagabond.
All right, hold on. Let me put on my, was I wearing headphones during that the episode?
Yeah, you had him on.
Yeah, I guess Soda was just so captivating that we never even got TW to talk there. But how did you enjoy the episode, TW?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was great. You guys were flowing the entire time.
Well, he was flowing, and I was just trying not to fuck it up. I was just trying to... I think at one point I had a panic attack. I'm not lying. This is not uncommon for me in Gas Digital to just have almost like an out-of-body experience or something. Sometimes when I come in here, I feel very uncomfortable, and I just sort of feel my... I don't know. It could be a panic attack, but... I'm just too much of a man to let it take over my body. But I feel like almost like I'm feeling light, and I'm like, uh-oh. The first time I did Are You Garbage when they were here too, they're like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm fine. But I'm pretty sure I was just having a fucking episode. And I'm just like, that's all right.
We couldn't tell. Look fine over here.
Dude, I'm a master of hiding my emotions. All right? Like any good Irish man is. I'm just sitting there going, I'm fine. Yeah. And I'm thinking about 1,000 things. And then I'm like, uh-oh. Don't have a panic attack, and that's like the worst thing you can think of. Where I'm just like, this is going to be the most views this podcast ever had. I really hope this is good. I hope I contribute, but at the same time, I hope I don't talk over Dan Soder the whole time. And you know, it is what it is. Soder's a legend, but we're not like we're not close. We'd be friendly, but we don't. That's probably the longest we've ever talked to each other, really. But I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please head over to Patreon. We're gonna get our own studio soon. We're doing what we can. And there's a bunch of exclusive stuff. Next week we have the Boys Cast. It's just called Boys Cast, right? Ryan Long and Danny Paluski, whatever that fucking big Polish name is. He's going to be on. So it's nice. I'm sleeveless today. It's the hottest day. We're in the middle of a heat wave right now in New York City. So just nipples everywhere. I got it. Just shout out to all the whores out there. Just really making my life better. It just makes a big difference to you. Natalie is in the booth here. This is Natalie from the Real Ass Podcast. Natalie, say hello to the fans.
Hello.
How are you? You guys might know her from the Real Ass Podcast. Are you a lesbian?
No, but I have a girlfriend, so close enough.
I have no idea what any of that means. So you're dating a girl right now?
Yeah.
But you're not a lesbian?
I'm not only into women.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because you're butchy, but you're not like
Right,
fucking crazy.
right.
You're a little bit, what's she like? Is she manlier than you?
Depends on in some ways more than others.
Physically, would I know she's a lesbian if I saw her? Would I be like 9 times out of 10 that's a lesbian?
Hard to say.
Hard to say. Because you,
Give off lesbian vibes. I get that a lot.
I'm trying to be very delicate about
I
this.
get that a lot.
But I'm not wrong. I'm not making.
No, absolutely not.
No one's surprised.
Absolutely not.
Did you have a big coming out thing?
It's a very long story.
All right. Well then, don't get into that.
Not worth getting into.
All right. Fair enough. Because you know, every now and again you meet someone who's like, I gotta sit you guys down. I gotta tell you something, and you're like, we know. We've been calling you gay since we met you. You know. Nice. All right. Well, so do you like? I'll talk to Natalie because it's very rare that I've ever even been this close to a lesbian in my life. Actually, I've never even between glass. I feel it's unsafe, and I don't. At any moment, she might hit me with a wrench or a fastball. She's gonna lace a baseball off my head. Go think fast, you little bitch. That's not true. My girlfriends sister is lesbian, and sometimes we just bond over our hatred of our girlfriends. It's like, you know, it's weird that you would say their arch nemesis, the straight man and the lesbian woman, they're like enemies, as old as fucking time itself. But common ground, our girlfriends suck, so we can crush a couple of beers, and just for that one moment we forget that we're mortal enemies, and we're like, yo, doesn't she stink? Why is she? She's always nagging. You're like, I fucking know, dude. And then we just we touch cans of beers, crush it off our fucking head. Yes, but what's it like for? Do you oogle? Are you a bit of an oogler? For the girls, like right now in New York, it's whores galore. You got it. You haven't lived until New York City, Lower East Side. In the summer, it's a heat wave. It's 90 something. Bras are gone. I don't know what happened with TikTok, but they're like, you know, social media, I think, educated women that the more skin they show, the more the better their life is, right? So, you know, on Instagram, back in the day on Facebook, it'd be all wearing fucking woolly sweaters and stuff. Now it's just being whores, and I mean whores in a positive sense. I don't mean that in a derogatory term. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So there's nipples everywhere. There's asses out. It's like a real creepy time to be alive. It's great. It's fantastic. I just have a fan. I'm fanning myself watching I think if I lived in the Lower East Side, I could jerk off just looking at the window. I think there's enough hot women walking by. But me and TW, we went and got Starbucks beforehand, and we just saw nipples galore. We saw nipples left, right, and centre. And I don't know if TW's in the closet or what, but I'm like, yo, do you see those tits? And he's like, You could tell he's kind of like agreeing with me because I'm his boss, and I am your boss.
I just missed them. I didn't see which ones you were talking about.
Dude, it was everywhere. You couldn't. It was like you're surrounded. It was like ants. You know when you just see one ant and the next thing you know, it's like, oh, there's another nipple. Oh my fuck, there's nipples everywhere. But do you stare at the women too? Or do you know because as a woman you're like, it's kind of rude?
I don't stare in particular unless they're stand out particularly, but then at least I feel like I'm still subtle about it. I feel like I'm more subtle than men that I know.
So what would if you were to teach me how to stare at women?
I feel like
and I'm not out there going like I'm not like fucking going, yo baby, yo mama. I'm not Dominican. I'm just like, did you fucking, and I, you know, or sometimes they'll just catch me and I'm like, you know what? Fine. Sometimes you just get a little creep at the tits and they see you and they sort of, and I go, sorry, you're beautiful. You wrap up, woman. That's not my problem. It's not my problem. Really, it's not. It's society's problem for forcing you to not be whores for years. Now that you guys are showing your skin, I can't react to it properly. So it's not my fault. So what would you tell me now, Natalie, as a lesbian, as a rug muncher?
I feel like
can I ask a question? Is rug muncher offensive? Or is that that's like a cute word?
Here's the thing. I agree. It sounds like a cute word. I feel like in here and also on rap and like on everything else, if I was just a lesbian, if I was only into women, I'd probably be offended by that. But
you think so? Rug muncher's so cute.
It's a cute word. It sounds cute.
It's like a child. It's like if a child said, "Oh, yo, my dad told me you're a rug muncher," you'd be like, "All right." For your dad goes like,
yeah.
you know, that's like a cute word for,
right.
You know, I think so. Of all the like so-called slurs, that's like an adorable. Sure. It's like a PC version of dyke. It's like a nice way of saying,
right,
this person licks. And because straight guys are rug munchers too, unless they're Jamaican.
Yeah,
so you know, there we are. Irish guys love eating pussy. That's a thing. Very famous. Fingering. I'm great at fingering. Anyway, so what was I going to say? What's your technique?
I was going to say that.
Cut that clip and put on the IG.
I feel like my experience is, because I'm a woman, I'm used to like not making eye contact with anybody on the subway. So like I'm like always afraid of anyone like making eye contact with anybody on the subway. So I'm like,
well, it's not the eye contact.
I just like, well, you know, like anyone knowing that I'm looking at them in any way. So I'm just used to being like, all right, head down, you know. Like,
yeah, Yeah, the eye contact, but you want to get a. See, I've got good height,
Right.
so I can be like right up on a train, right, just absolutely just, Google Street View right down on those, and then I have my hat like this.
Right. Yeah.
So it's
that's
like
a good.
they don't see me, but I'm like staring at. I'm
Exactly.
staring. I am fucking staring at your fucking box right now. You haven't a clue. I could be asleep. You think I'm playing poker or something? That's a good technique.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I wish we had asked Dan. What's Dan Soder's technique? What's Paul Giamatti or whatever that fucking guy he acts with is? What's his technique? All right. Well, listen. Now's your time. New York City. Go out, check out some skin. It's like, I think it's good. I know it sounds creepy. This could easily sound creepy, but I really believe finding someone attractive and staring at them is like fine. I think that's fine. All right, well, this is the episode now. We're going to have a lot of fun. Head over to the Patreon, and that's it. Enjoy. Are we in? I always hate at the...
Wait for it.
Okay.
Wait for it. All right, we're going.
Okay, we're in. Great. What a way to start.
They really make you be like, no, don't.
I was like, I want to just do a rolling start. I hate this whole like fucking show busy. Here we're in.
I thought Bobby was going to give you the Wayne's World count. 5, 4, 3.
Boop, boop, boop. Camera one. Yeah,
Go.
we're rolling.
Yeah.
And then as much as we were trying to get this to be a rolling start, he was just like, okay, yeah, for sure. Watch the timer. We're gonna...
Wait. Okay, well, hold one more second. Hold on.
You haven't started. But Bobby survived.
Bobby Hutch is alive, dude. That's the news of the day.
Great. Can we ask you, Bobby? You're probably not on mic there, are you? But how you?
I got a mic. Yes.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling a hell of a lot better, man.
When
Thanks
did
for
it
asking.
lift all in one day, or was it like gradual?
No, it was very gradual. Very gradual.
Was there a day that it lifted more than others?
Oh yeah, like 3 weeks in.
3 weeks in.
It was weird. It was in the shower, and all of a sudden I just got a like I wasn't able to smell or taste anything, and then in the shower I just got a burst of scent from the soap that I was using.
Man,
I was
they should
whoa.
pay you for that commercial. Dove.
Because you're worth it.
Yeah, dude. It would be funnier if you were like, I just tasted soapy water and I knew I was back.
Yeah. I've been brushing my teeth with shampoo.
So you were in the shower and all of a sudden you smelled it, and were you like,
I was like, wow, this is great.
did you do Ray Liotta and Goodfellas and start slamming the wall?
Were you crying? Like someone who regained their sense?
Oh, dude. Like that, the kids when they put on the glasses or they put the hearing aid in. Oh my God. Oh no.
Yeah, but you were to Irish Spring.
You got taken to your herbal essence hit you.
You're very dramatic. You just don't know what it's like without your smell.
You know what's funny? I didn't know this, but I think I've been nose retarded for over 10 years.
Okay.
I can't smell anything.
Yeah,
I have to get my
nostril special
face.
needs.
I have to fucking get my face on it.
So what's that like for tasting then? Are you good for tasting?
I don't know. I think that's why I like ranch and fucking candy like a child. Because I need
it's
like
the highest stimulating.
I need the
flavors.
saltiest or the sweetest shit to cut through. Because I really don't.
Does it?
I mean, I got before COVID.
Yeah.
When I was living with my girlfriend, she noticed it. She's like, "You don't smell that?" And I was like, "Whatever." I always thought I had a dull sense of smell.
Yeah.
Like I just thought I had one because I can smell stuff, but
Yeah.
I gotta like get on it.
You really got to get in there. But you're a smoker, right?
Yes. I think-
Heavy smoker?
Yeah, I think that's
For
what
how
it
long
was.
now? 15, 20
no,
years?
I quit 8 years ago, but I smoked from 12 to 29.
I think that'll do it. I think that 12.
Yeah, I think we got
when
it.
You,
Ladies
when
and
you
gentlemen.
haven't hit puberty yet.
Yeah, just fucking rip it.
Crushing
My
butts.
favorite thing in the world was smoke coming through my nose.
that was your thing?
Yeah,
This
like,
is...
if I could get them to both come out at the same time, when I was like a teenager especially.
Yeah, I used to always try... I smoked teenage years too. I used to always try to do all that, but it never worked. I'm just like the worst looking smoker.
You were just like,
And I'd be like trying to do the rings and stuff. I'd just be...
yeah. Bad ring face.
What's up, babe?
Bad ring face is hilarious because you're just going,
Yeah, you... Even when you get it to work, it kind of looks gay. You know, even...
air kisses.
Yeah, what's up?
And then you do it and you're like, right? It's
Yeah.
never worth the payoff.
No, never.
No one's ever like, what a badass
Wow,
dude.
look at that,
Like,
14-year-old.
shut up. Look at this guy. Far away O face is always funny. How old were you when you started smoking?
Probably 13 or 14 or something. Maybe 14, but I don't think I really started smoking properly till I maybe was 16.
Okay.
Like all the time.
Were they easy to get in Ireland?
Yeah. It was 16 to smoke in Ireland
Really?
at the time. And then I think they changed it. The year I went 16, they changed it to 18. I think, if I remember correctly.
Wait, you turned 16 and then they're like, fuck you,
Yeah,
18.
this guy sucks.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. And looking back, I was like, oh, this is so... I'm an adult.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Give me my fix, bro.
I want my fucking tobacco, bro. My friend
Yeah.
took his brother's birth certificate and went to the DMV
Nice.
and got an ID card, a state ID card that said he was his older brother, that he was 18, so he could buy cigarettes for us.
My fucking friend did the exact same thing in Ireland.
Yeah,
He
it's-
brought his older brother's passport.
Great.
And it was like, they don't look anything like
My
it.
God,
But the
dude.
cops were just like, what?
Makes me think every criminal before the internet was a fucking moron. How did you not get away with everything? If you could just walk into a DMV and get a new
You know,
license.
this is the deed for this house.
Yeah, and they're like, well, okay. Everyone was just
Yeah.
a sucker
It's
before
like
the
getting
internet.
Shawshank Redemption, where he just walks in, he's like, well, clearly I own this name tag.
Yeah, I mean, you really could like all of Catch Me If You Can
Yeah.
would have gotten shut down immediately with the internet.
Yeah,
And they're like,
absolutely.
no, your ticket didn't scan, and he's like, I'm a
like,
pilot.
I'm an 85-year-old man.
Yeah, and they're like,
Look at
"All right."
my shirt. And my,
all in that movie. Every time he gets away with something, it just takes one person being like, "Okay, go ahead," and then he's like, "And then I ripped off TWA."
I took $20 million from the savings account.
Yeah, you know, a vice president killed himself because I ripped that company off. They don't show
Yeah.
the blowback damage that
Yeah.
Leo's character did.
Just some kid who couldn't get his medicine.
Yeah, he's like, fuck it. My dad was mean, so I went and ripped off an airline.
just good old-fashioned, honest America, where you just walk in and go,
God.
hello, sir. Well, I'm a good Christian man.
Since its inception, America has been about how do you pay for something but steal more of it?
Yeah.
Like, how do you give a little but take much, much more?
Oh, yeah. So
That's just how we work here.
I love it.
I
I
know.
love America's. What the rest of the world hate about America is like, it's like greedy, it's loud, it's obnoxious, it's like just pure gluttony. But that's like my favorite thing about being
it's
here.
McDonald's.
It's just
It's absolutely
it's
McDonald's.
just a walk-in. It's like a live-in mall almost.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people go, "Oh, we're going to the mall." It's like this is the mall.
This
This is a mall.
It's all the mall.
You live in the mall. You work in the mall. We're just-
Indianapolis, I think I was downtown working their comedy club, and the
Yeah.
whole city felt like a mall.
Yeah,
It was just
yeah,
like
yeah.
a PF Chang's to a fucking another restaurant to like, and you're like, we did it. We put a mall in places that you shouldn't. Go to Phoenix. Humans shouldn't live in Phoenix, Arizona.
yeah.
It's like 118 degrees, and then they're like, yeah, but how about you live there? And we give you burgers whenever you want. And you're like, this fucking rules.
so,
This is
fucking-
so
Just
cool.
surviving in the desert.
Yeah, just surviving in a place that humans.
Stuff in Arby's.
It's completely inhabitable.
Yeah.
And people are like, I'm gonna have a pool with purple lights in it.
Yeah.
So at night it looks cool.
Yeah, America's just the best. Everyone's poor, but somehow can just afford so much shit. Like everyone's poor, but it's just you're always full of shit.
homeless people have cell phones, smartphones. I've seen it. I wrote
Yeah.
a joke about it like 3 years ago. Walking to the old stand, I saw a guy texting in his box.
Nice.
And the joke I did was just like, who's he texting that they're not letting him stay with him? It makes me think he's a dick. That he's like, come on, just in a box. But I've seen it now so much that I'm like,
yeah, I've seen them hogging the like outlets at the stations.
Oh, dude, when they put those up-
they'll have a little fan.
there's these stations in New York City where you can plug your phone in and it's like
Yeah.
a help center and it's got the internet. Well, it used to have free internet.
Oh, it did?
And
Wow.
you would walk by and just see a homeless dude jacking it. It was like jack stations. They were just jerking off. There was one right on 20th and 3rd by the old stand, and there was just a guy
Yeah.
early on just masturbating.
Viciously too.
Oh,
Some of
they
these
don't.
guys, when they whack it, it's like
Yeah,
it's like
there was a
violent.
There was a guy. Lewis used to run his Poster Dog show at Eastville Comedy Club back in
Okay.
like 2008,
Nice.
2009. It was 2008, and I was walking there from the F train off 2nd Avenue and 4th Street. It's where the New York Comedy Club is on 4th Street, and there was a guy up on the stairs.
Yeah.
This is like 8 o'clock at night, jacking off, but making love to himself, like laying back and like humping his hand. He was fucking so sensual about how he was jerking off. And I remember I walked into it was Eastville at the time. Now it's New York Comedy Club, and I walked in and Lewis was at the bar, and I was like, dude, this guy's jacking it on the stairs 2 doors down, and Lewis was like, sick, and just ran out. And then it was clear that I must have, he finished between I left and we all came out because he was like scurrying away as we got up. And I was like, that was him.
There's the guy. Come back.
That was the fucking guy.
Yeah, it's wild. These guys go fucking nuts. And it's a long time, usually.
Yeah, because they're all on, like, you know,
Dude,
drugs.
I don't whack it. I wouldn't.
The point of whacking it isn't to do it a long time.
Yeah, and just around. How long do you reckon you have to be homeless before you, if you were homeless?
Yeah.
How long before you just say fuck? I'm just.
Well, let's start asking some questions. Am I homeless because of mental illness or because of drug addiction?
Your choice, dealer's choice.
Because I'm telling you, mental illness, probably not jacking it for a while. Drugs, day 2.
Yeah, you just
Day
got
2
fucked
in a public area, Union Square, really pulling on it. Really look like I'm trying to pull it off me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
what about
going
you?
Crazy. I don't know. I feel like at first you'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna crack it in a public bathroom," which is disgusting.
Yeah,
right.
but-
It's gonna be smell of shit.
Oh man, the second you come,
Oh yeah, just the realization.
that's where I'm. But see, that's where I'm a superhero because I'm nose retarded. I don't smell
that's
all that
exactly-
poop, so I just fucking bust a nut, and then I'm just like, maybe I should call that cousin that said he'd give me a job.
You know, maybe I should stop doing this heroin.
You know what, man? I don't think these drugs are leading to good decisions. Just one.
You just have like shit on your hands and stuff, and you're like, that's fine.
Daniel, Edward. You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but yeah, I think you could just probably convince you. It's like a gateway drug almost of like you're cranking it in a public bathroom.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. After a week, you're like, I'm homeless. I like fuck this. It's just.
Yeah, when do you go punk rock homeless? When are you like, I don't give a fuck about anybody. I'm doing this for me. Because I saw a couple clearly on heroin. I was walking from New York Comedy Club up to the stand last night, and they were on 14th and 2nd,
Okay.
just screaming.
Yeah.
But it was nonsensical. It was just
Yeah.
crazy shit.
Just,
And the guy yelled out, "This is aggression!" And I was like, yeah, man, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. But then he just yelled out, the second thing he yelled out was, "I'll see you at home."
Oh.
I'll see you at home.
Yeah, we haven't had a home for years.
What are you talking about?
Hawk! Hawk!
Oh, pow, under the bridge. But they were just yelling stuff where I was like, man, that's got to be a thing when you're off drugs.
Yeah.
I wonder if you remember that. You know, when you're like working at a Walmart in 7 years and you've been clean for 4, and you go,
I was shouting.
oh fuck, I remember being on 14th Street in front of that Joe's Pizza just fucking screaming.
Oh yeah, you're like, what even was that girl's name? I never.
Yeah.
It's like Pony. There's like some weird homeless nickname like Pony.
Yeah.
Yo, you see Pony?
He goes, was that? Yeah. Oh, Pony died. Oh my god.
Pony?
Pony's such a random drug girl nickname. You guys know Pony?
Have you seen Pony? I haven't seen that girl in forever.
Bro, Pony fucking died like in 2028.
Just that raspy, fucked
Yeah.
up voice.
Well, last time I saw her, she was hanging out with McRibbon or
Yeah.
something.
No, her and Kyle were
Yeah,
over in
yeah.
Union Square, and then Sunshine came over, and they had a fucking
Yeah.
problem.
These are happy-go-lucky names for like just awful lives.
They're dog names.
Rainbow.
Yeah,
Rainbow.
they're all cheery dog names for sad humans.
Yeah.
They're like Spots. Where's Spots?
Hulk,
Yeah.
just a scrawny little heroin addict.
Yeah, Muffet. I was friends with kids that had nicknames like that when I was in
Yeah.
middle school. My friend Jason went by Turd, and my
Turd.
friend Brian went by Roach. And you
Roach,
were like,
yeah, Roach, yeah,
Roach.
that's one. Roach is a fucking international.
It's like- but I didn't realize that I was in the suburbs around Union Square nicknames. Pony's gonna make me laugh. I'm gonna be like walking through Union Square and see just a homeless kid and be like, I wonder if their name's Pony.
Are you Pony?
Are you Pony? Because I think about that. I stopped drinking in 2013, and the way I talk about drinking, you have to talk about drugs if you quit drugs successfully. You have to be like when I go by a bar, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a bar in Astoria that every time I'd walk by, I just remember being at the lowest lows.
Yeah.
And
And you would go in there?
I'd walk by it. I couldn't go in if I went in
Oh,
there.
sorry, I'm talking about. But when you used to go in there,
Yeah, it would just be till 4 a.m.
I know there was a place near you, and I think it's called Jimbo's or something.
Oh, Jimbo's is awesome.
Did you?
on Ditmars.
Have you been in there?
That was Joe List and Dan Bulger's hang when I first moved to
Wow.
Queens.
But isn't that like an Armenian mob?
Oh,
place?
fuck. No, dude. I'm thinking of McCann's on Ditmars.
Oh, McCann's,
You're
I know.
talking about Jimbo's on fucking Astoria Boulevard.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Have you been in there?
No. Cause
If you just 1 second, if you Google I think it's either Albanian or
Albanian.
Armenian.
It's-
Albanian or Armenian. I don't know.
I want to say
what the difference is between those two places.
It's mobbed up.
It's mobbed up, but if you look up like their Wikipedia page about the Armenian mob, like they're all standing outside Jimbo's smoking. And it's like 2000
Shit.
on the Wikipedia page.
Dude, I lived around the corner for that
Yeah.
for 14 years.
Yeah,
So my friend lived with me. He moved from Colorado.
Okay.
In Colorado, they have, everybody has that like, hey, we're outside energy. Like everybody's
Yeah.
got that energy where they're like, let's have some beers and go on a hike.
Yeah, let's do some mountain biking.
Yeah. So they got day drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And I was out working. I was like, I think either working at the restaurant or the radio station. And I came home and I'm like, what'd you guys do tonight? And they're like, oh, dude, there's this awesome bar around the corner called Jimbo's. And the bartenders are all hot. And I was like, oh, yeah, I've walked by there. I've never gone in there. And they're like, it's awesome. We could smoke cigarettes in there.
Yeah, yes.
So they were like, my friends, they're brothers, Zach and Josh, were like, this is the best bar you'll ever go to. So I was like, well, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So the next night we walk over and there's a bouncer and I was like, hey, can we go inside? And the guy's like, no. And I was like, I never found out how they got in there.
It was just probably daytime or something
don't know.
weird. But I just know that's one of those places
I want
that.
to see if because that place is.
Because I know I was talking to Vecchione about it, and he was like, it's one of those places where it's just like it'll just be closed for a month, and then one day you walk by, it's just open.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's just I don't know what's going on at Jimbo's Astoria.
It's getting Astoria. Vecchione and I lived together for 10 years, but I lived there for 14 years, and I watched it go from like you could see the shady shit happening. There was this place across the street from me that was like a tax place that
Okay.
isn't open, but it might still be open.
Yes. Yeah.
And just one night, a garbage truck came and stopped, and it wasn't garbage night. And
Yeah.
the guy went up the stairs to like the thing and came back down and got in the garbage truck and drove away. And I was like,
Something. What the fuck?
and it was like 2 a.m. I was outside smoking a cigarette, and I was like, damn.
Astoria is just full of these random, like old Italian or Greek, like it'd be like a insurance office. It's like Mikey's insurance office, and you look inside, and it's like a couple of guys in tracksuits drinking coffee. At like,
Oh my god!
And you're
My
like, what
favorite's like
fuck?
the Corsica clubs and like all these weird Greek
Oh
clubs.
yeah, just with the backwards E or
Yeah,
whatever.
and then you just look in and it's 5 guys on a leather couch watching soccer. it's just Greek dudes watching soccer. You're
That's
like,
awesome though. Dude.
Yeah.
Just this a guys club.
It is, and there's like different ones. There's like
Yeah.
different men's clubs
Oh,
all
it's-
through
yeah.
Queens. Because I saw a Colombian one up off like 43rd.
Okay.
And there's just
Yeah.
like you go the World Cup to live in Astoria during the World Cup. I
yeah.
got to do it 3 times,
Yeah.
4 times. Fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
It was because you would hear different parts of the neighborhood pop. Like
Yeah.
Colombia won a couple, and they were like fucking going nuts. And then Egypt won the Africa Cup one year.
Did they?
And it
Wow.
was fucking crazy in our neighborhood.
I'm sure that's nuts. Yeah, in Astoria too. Astoria is one of these great places because it has so many just random countries, and then on Citizens app, you'll just hear about like 8 guys get into a machete fight,
Oh,
and then
dude.
it's like it's between countries where you're like, are they rivals? I didn't even know.
Yeah,
I
You go,
know
is
it.
there a problem with Egypt and Greece?
Yeah,
and
it's
then you
just
look
a-
back and you're like, there is.
Yeah, a long history of violence between these random
Your
countries.
Citizens app's teaching you world history.
yeah. I was like, it's all former USSR, Middle Eastern.
Do you know east of 30th Avenue, it's all Shiites, and there's a Sunni.
There's a Sunni war.
and
Yeah,
there's a weird thing going on. Yeah, you come back much more international after you live in Astoria.
but just the worst parts of each culture. They're just educated on the rivalry.
yeah, you're just down by a dance club watching
Yeah.
guys. I lived in between 2 different dance clubs. I lived in
Okay.
between Don Coquille, which
Okay.
was like this Dominican dance club, which was
Okay.
second. But then there was another one. Fuck, there was a Euro trash one that was
Okay.
all Greek Euro trash.
Yeah, just hairy.
Fuck, what's the name of it? They were all. It was like everyone was in white all the time, unbuttoned shirts. Like, bro, like a lot of that. Like, bro, we gonna go dancing, bro. We watched a UFC at my house one time, and Lewis was drinking. It was one of the first times Lewis got skinny, like really skinny, and he was obsessed with drinking vodka sodas. Or
yeah.
it's because 0 calories. And he came over and we watched this UFC pay-per-view, and he got fucking drunk at my house. And then he's like, let's go. Caprice. That's the name of the club. He's like, let's go out. I was like, nah, dude, I'm not going out. And he's like, what's that dance club? You said all those Euro trash are at. I was like, Caprice? He's like, let's fucking go. And he had a camo cargo shorts on and flip-flops and a cut-off shirt.
But he hasn't changed.
Yeah, and he just walked up and the bouncer was like, bro, what? And Lewis is like,
Meanwhile, there's
he
a
got his
guy.
ID out, and the guy's like, no.
Meanwhile, there's a guy in like a Puma tracksuit
Dude, totally.
and a wife beater and a chain.
They would always be pulled up on the sidewalk. Sometimes I'd be high and I'd want to go get an ice cream sandwich from like around the corner, and I'd have to walk in front of it, and I always felt like, ah. But the best part was when I smoked cigarettes, I would sit outside on that stoop, and I would watch the dance clubs get out, and there was always a fight.
Really?
There was always a fight
Dominicans
somewhere.
and Greeks are.
Always on my fucking block.
If it wasn't for geography, man, those would be fighting all the
Oh
time.
my
Those
God, this
natural born enemies.
Just battle bots and just fucking slamming into each other. I would just sit there and sometimes I would, if like some shit was going down, I would go get Vecchione.
Okay.
I'd be like, Vecchione. You know, like,
watch this.
Fucking come here. Or sometimes we'd be inside, and like, if it was like winter, you'd open the window and watch, because shit would just go down.
Wow. I can't imagine starting a fight with the Greeks in a story. There's just so many.
No, it's a home game for them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Their backup is right around the corner.
Everywhere you turn, it's just a fucking. And they're big. They're big now.
Yeah, I miss living there. I like living there. Yeah.
Yes. Where did you move to?
To Manhattan. I got a
Nice.
place. Yeah, and then but it's
But you just must be sick of all the Greek food, all the restaurants, everything that's out
it was
there.
so good though. Now that it's gone, I'm like, fuck.
Well,
Because
you-
I was sick of it.
Well, they got
after
the
a while.
Taverna Kika, whatever, in the city.
Oh, they did?
They've one in 14th Street somewhere.
No shit.
They have a second location. Yeah, so
Because we went to the one,
that's the best.
It's
It's
unbelievable.
without a doubt the best. Yeah,
yeah, up on Ditmars.
exactly. Yeah. And
Yeah,
I-
we went and ate there. That was like our last meal in Astoria together.
Oh, good.
It's
Yeah.
like we went out and got
It's
food
the,
there.
It's the fucking best.
Yeah, there was like an episode, I think it was of Bourdain or some shit, where he
Oh,
did.
wow.
Whole episode was just Astoria. He just went to
Wow.
different restaurants in Queens, or it was Queens. It wasn't
Yeah,
Astoria.
yeah,
But he's like, you can find every food in Queens. You can find.
yeah. Absolutely.
It's fucking unbelievable. And I would order from places not knowing it was like world renowned. It was just on Seamless because I'm white trash. This
Yeah,
is
of
like
course, of
this is
course.
when you American something, the culture out of it, where you're like, yeah, it's on Seamless. I'm gonna order it. And then they're like, that's like a historic Indian restaurant. And I'm like,
No. Yeah.
no, I just like I get
No,
the
I just said most popular. I clicked most popular meal deal for 2.
I go, well, they got 4.6 thousand reviews.
Yeah.
They can't lie.
I've been to some weird Thai places in Queens where they don't even open till like 11 p.m.
What?
Because it's like an after hour spot for like all the Thai people
For
that work.
smoking and dominoes.
It's just it's just karaoke, and then you can order some weird crickets and stuff. Like I've gone in and I'm like, what is that? And they're like, crickets. I was like, all right, give me the crickets. Let's see what the fuck this is.
Really, just to try it.
I'll always try something weird like that.
How was it?
It's all right. Everything is always just like I can live without it.
Yeah. I guess if you grew up eating it, you would love it.
Yeah.
Do other
I don't know if though. Do they still love it? I just find it hard to imagine that. Like, dude, you gotta have a cricket.
Let's have some
you,
crickets.
You gotta have.
Yeah.
The one problem with America, can't get good cricket in this.
Yeah,
fucking-
you guys don't cook your crickets right. I think it's the water. You guys don't know how to cook it right. Yeah, American food is always so much that I think when you just show up here, it's like everyone likes McDonald's.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the deal. You're gonna eat it, you're gonna love it, and you're gonna get sick from it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Crickets, I don't know how I'm gonna digest that. I'm gonna have wings in my shit.
Yeah. Sometimes those are the restaurants you go in and you don't even know what the menus are. You're just like, give me number 4 maybe. I don't know. And they're like, you sure? And like, I don't know.
There was some fucking lame credit card commercial where they were like, go into a Japanese restaurant and say, surprise me. I was like, never in my fucking life would I ever say that. Never.
I've done that though, but not with Japanese. I've done it with like Peruvian. Where I've just rang them. I was working in a bar and I'm like, yeah, just give me whatever's like good. Just give me like a whatever's popular.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was just like it's like black rice or something. And
I wouldn't
it's
trust that.
Peruvian is like fine. It's
Yeah.
gonna be just sort of different flavor chicken.
I think Americans have to be the pickiest eaters, right?
Maybe
Because we have the choice.
you've got all the choices.
We got all the choices all the time. So we're like,
Yeah.
I don't like tomatoes. I don't want tomatoes. But if you're in like fucking Bangkok, you're like,
There's no. Yeah.
I'll suck that businessman's dick for a tomato.
Dude, I went to Thailand years ago, and I remember just seeing some guy eating like an unborn chicken. So he's like taking a bite out of it. It's like can you get this up as an image? Because if you see this, it's gross probably on TV, live in on a dirty bus in like Thailand.
On a bus?
He's just at a bus station. He's just sitting there and he's eating it like an apple. But then when you bite into it, the chicken is in there, in the egg.
Wait, so he bites the egg
he bites into the egg, and
It's like a hard-boiled egg.
it's like a hard-boiled egg, but there's like a little fucking
little
squawk
treat inside.
just a little, like a Kinder Surprise or something.
Yeah, that's what
It's
it is.
exactly like that, except it's a.
Kinder Surprise.
It's disgusting.
You go, I got the one with the bird. I get a free one.
You go, give me a little bit. There we go. Is this it?
Ah.
Wow. That could
It's
be
crazy
it.
how it's like scramby eggs.
Yeah, and they're gobbling that, and they're like they just.
How do they eat it? Do they take the top off?
The
and
most
then slurp
disgusting.
it?
Yeah, so it's
That's the only
popular
way
in,
they-
like Thailand and like Southeastern Asia. But yeah, it's just a street egg, so they wait till like the fetus is more born to eat it than like we do cooking it before.
Do they call it late trimester eggs?
Is there
Late term eggs?
Is there a lot of pro-life
Yeah.
fucking and PETA pro-life guys out there?
I guarantee they use that as a fucking poster.
But we don't eat eggs before they're born. Eggs are like non-fertile chickens, right?
Yeah, ours are non-fertile, but you know sometimes you do get one. But these are
Do you?
fertilized. Yeah.
So you're thinking I've eaten like a pre-chicken?
Well, no, you'd notice if it is, but sometimes you get one that's
it has
not.
personality. It'd scream for help.
But they and they slurp it. By the way, you're
They
like
slurp it?
They slurp everything. There's no such thing as it's and they're just you ever get the 7 train? They're just spitting seeds at you and stuff. Yeah, they're like crazy, and you're like, all right.
All right, yeah, guys, come on. I remember I watched some lady that she was just. I was on the 7 train coming back from like Flushing.
Yeah,
and this lady
absolutely.
was eating something that just looked like bark. It just looked like she was like crank, and I was like, "What the fuck are you chewing on?" And I was just watching her eat it, just crushing it with her jaw.
People talk about like Queens as if it's this like it's like this multicultural thing. Most of your life's just going like, ugh.
What are you doing?
What the fuck is that?
Oh, it's a smell. Even I can smell that.
You broke down Dan's.
No, it's on my nose. But what's funny is Astoria, everyone loves to suck their dick about being like, it's so multicultural, but then it's also just the most boring white people all sprinkled in.
Yeah.
Because it's all like actors, waiters, comics. It's all people that think we're important, but we're not.
Yeah.
And it's just like you see a guy who's like, I escaped a dictator to get here and eat this half a chicken on this train. And then you're like, I'm going in to play Rose in a play.
This is amazing.
Yeah, you just see like the contrast. And
yeah, white people are always patting themselves on the back for living in Queens, where it's like there's more languages in Queens than any other country.
You don't
And
speak
go,
any of them.
I go, yeah, but going to a bar, it's just all white people. It's all Irish white people. And then like you don't go into there. It's not like you're in church interacting with these people. They're just crossing each other on the street.
yeah, I'm not coming out of Queens speaking Farsi. I fucking don't know anything. I know where there's a good Greek place. That's it. Louis Katz was going to move in. Mark Maron was about to give Louis Katz his apartment. Mark Maron lived in Astoria like back in the day, way before, like in 2006 or whatever, before What the Fuck.
Yeah.
He had this apartment, and Louis Katz was like, I'm going to come out to, I had just moved there, and he's like, I'm going to come to Astoria to look around. I might move into Maron's apartment. And I was like, oh, we'll have lunch. And he gets off the train, and Louis is like a cultured dude. Louis like goes to places and learns and shit. And he learned how white trash I was that day when he just got off the train, and he's like, where do you want to go get lunch? And I was like, there's a Subway right around the corner. And
Exactly,
he's like,
straight
are
away.
you fucking kidding me? We're in Queens and you want to go to Subway? And I was like,
Meatball marinara Tuesday.
yeah, I think it was. It was like a $5 foot long.
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, dude, $5 foot long.
Come on.
What do you want to do?
Let's be honest.
He's like, let's find a place. And I was
It's
like,
like, yeah, but then we could take a risk. It could be bad. We know Subway's bad.
Subway.
we know it's.
we know what bad we're getting.
By the way, I actually don't. It's a tough one for Americans. I don't consider Subway terrible.
Me
by the
neither.
way. Yeah, especially in Ireland, because we just grew it was just like a good meal.
It's a sandwich.
It was a good solid sandwich.
Well, the difference is in Europe, I think probably more so than America, your beef was beef longer than ours was beef. You were getting real meat on your sandwiches, I think,
Possibly.
longer than us, because we're the first to be like, what is that, a ham substitute? It costs 26 cents versus 46 cents? Well, then it's a ham. That's the ham that Subway uses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because over there, whenever I travel, the first
Yeah.
time I traveled, I noticed chocolate was better everywhere else.
chocolate is better everywhere.
Everywhere else, but the
Hershey's
United
is
States.
dog shit.
Dog shit. It's fucking chemical dog shit.
Even the-
Cadbury,
The Cadbury's that you get here is not the same.
it sucks.
Sucks.
When I
Yeah.
did Fringe, I brought back Cadbury covered Oreos. And it
Okay,
was the
nice.
fucking shit.
Yeah.
And then I finished them, and I was like, I found another bag, and it sucked compared to that.
The
Chocolate
American-
here is dog shit.
It really is, yeah.
But I didn't know that, and I'd go to other, like when I went to like Canada or Europe for the first time, I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God.
Canada's good.
Canada's got European chocolate.
Because there's a lot of stuff here that you guys have legalized chemicals or something that
Yeah.
goes into shit.
Yeah.
That, like the rest of the world is like, no way.
Dude,
What are you insane? And
Dude,
you
I
guys,
did-
like Dr. Pepper doesn't taste like Dr. Pepper anywhere else in the world. You guys have some special American Dr. Pepper horse shit.
Really?
It's like
We got steroids?
I don't know. I think it's just like corn syrup or some
Yeah,
weird
it's
stuff
high fructose corn syrup.
that we're not allowed to have in Europe.
Of course, because doctors over there are like, this shit'll give you cancer. And Americans are like,
if you live long enough for cancer,
yeah, yeah. Man, that is. I was dating this girl that was from England, and she came over here for like a long weekend,
Oh, nice.
and she got sick. Like it was like flu season, and
Yeah.
she started feeling like shit. She got here Thursday, started feeling like shit on Sunday, and was here till Monday. And she was like, I just want to go to sleep, and I was like, well, let me go get NyQuil, and she's like,
oh yeah.
NyQuil. I was like, oh yeah, you've never done NyQuil? Hell, I'll do some with you. And I fucking-
Oh, I gotta.
yeah, I feel a little coming out with the
I'm
weather.
wired.
But she took NyQuil, and the next day she was like, that shit's amazing.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, I wonder why I haven't seen it in the UK. And she looked it up. She's like, oh, it's illegal. The stuff that's
There's
in
a guy down
here.
the street going, "You want some NyQuil?"
Yeah. And then I gave her like the pills because you can take
Yeah.
it in like drink or pills. And I was like, well, I got a bunch of NyQuil. She was like, can I take that back with me? And I was like, yeah, I don't get what. Sure.
Ends up in locked up abroad.
Yeah. She's like, I was-
put the NyQuil down.
put it down, you fucking bitch. And her pole's coming after her. Fucking put it down. Put the fucking NyQuil down.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it really shows you that America's all about that.
It's crazy.
Getting that money.
That NyQuil stuff, I used to take it for a while because I can't even remember what I took it, but it fucking gave me the shit bad. I once, what I think is it the orange? No, whatever the blue.
Orange is Dayquil.
Dayquil. So not
Green is NyQuil.
NyQuil. Okay,
tell
no,
I've
I was
used them.
I was taking Dayquil.
You tell I'm a big fan of both of those.
Mix them together, create some sort of a greenish color.
COVID, it literally that's the closest I get back to drinking, is doing shots of NyQuil and fighting off the sleep. And I'm like, all right, let's fucking party.
Stay awake, Dan.
So you were getting shits or...
I shit myself in my house one time. Like, and this was the most violent I've ever shit myself in my life, where I was just like, I was literally just about to get in the shower, so I had like a towel around me, and then my stomach just went, "Whoa," and then it just went like all over my fucking
On the towel?
well, I think it might have hit the towel, but mostly like through my, like a woman fucking whose water just broke. It just went fucking. It was
You heard the splat.
it was violent, dude. It was the most violent.
What was the color of it?
It was like dark. It was like light brown, but it was just pure
Okay.
water. Like
Okay, I would have gotten scared if it would have came out NyQuil color.
NyQuil color,
If it would have
yeah.
been like dark green or black, I would have been like, fuck.
that fucked me up. I don't know what it was. And then I came here too. I was getting allergies, so I started taking these like allergy medicine every morning. I'd wake up, take medicine, and then my girlfriend was like, "Why do you have these?" And I was like, "I take them for my allergies." She's like, "Wait, that's like a sleeping tablet."
You were taking Benadryl?
I was taking Benadryl every morning. I was waking up to go work in construction.
Oh my
I would
God.
take 2 things of Benadryl at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my
And then I would drink fucking 8 cups of coffee because I'd be fucking falling asleep all day.
Yeah.
And then my girl was like, "That's putting you asleep." I was like, well, "It says for allergies." It's
Yeah,
like,
but
no,
there's
no.
non-drowsy.
You
You got to get non-drowsy.
It says, he's like, "This is for allergies." I was like, absolutely.
Did you, when you took that off, when you stopped taking Benadryl,
Yeah, I think I just like realized, I was like,
they're
whoa.
like, damn, Colum can work. You showed up
I've
like
been
this
falling asleep.
fucking guy.
Every day I was just like, I need to find a new job. And then I was like, no, I've been taking but then I think it started to wear off after a while. You're
Okay.
just fucking pumped through it.
God damn it.
But that's like, there's no medicine is the same. I show
Yeah.
up here when you're sick as a foreigner, you show up and you're like, "Yo, give me the
What do you guys got?
give me the Calpol." And they're like, "What is that?" And I'm like, fucking Googling stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
Is it this?
That happened when I was in Scotland. I was looking for stuff, and I got like a sore throat, and I was like looking for the American
Yeah.
fix me ups, and there weren't. And they're like,
none
"You
of
want tea?" I'm like, "Fuck
You're
you!
like, "Give me some Oxycontin."
I want some fucking Roxy's, Oxys, Perks. I need it all, baby. Dose me up." My doctor one time was like, "You want some steroids just in case your throat hurts on the road?" And I was like, "No, I didn't even ask for that."
He just, well, I got some stuff.
Yeah, they really do. That's how
Yeah.
medicine in the United States works. Is once you're in the door, they're like, "I got a whole closet full of this shit."
Roids.
I'm gonna get
What have
fucking nuts. You want to do a cycle with me? Do a cycle with me.
What if you're tired?
What are you,
Come on.
pussy? Your doctor's
Crush
like,
it, crush it up.
Do it right now. I'll do one with you. You go-
Yeah, just like key bumps.
You're just smashing it up. He's talking to you. He goes, "See, half these doctors don't even know what the fuck they're talking about." Anyways, everything looks good. It's the drip.
Yeah,
You get the drip.
yeah. They say there's an oxy epidemic, but that's like just common misconception, dude.
That's fucking libtard media.
Fucking Obama.
He goes, fucking Bush. He's all fucked up.
Anyway, you want me to write you up something? Anyway,
Anything. What do you need? You need to concentrate? You need ups, downs,
What do you
lefts,
think? What,
rights?
what do you think of that secretary in there? I'm not a fucker. Yeah.
He goes, it's crazy. I'll throw it all away. I'll risk it all for her.
I'm a fucker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
She's
tired.
dumb as a rock, dude. Didn't go to college.
It's crazy. You know how much money I make? A lot. He's just telling you. You want to see my taxes?
Yeah, I don't even miss my wife. I don't even.
I don't even love my kid. You're the first person I told that. Let's do more drugs. You want to do more drugs? Dude, I'll bump back this 1 o'clock. This guy's dying of cancer.
He's fucked.
Let him think in the lobby for a little bit longer. Yeah, dude, bad doctors like that I think are more... I tried going to a new doctor and he was Russian, and that's just... You can't. They have no bedside manner.
It's just, why are you late?
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, you have high blood pressure, high cholesterol. You stop drinking coffee, no smoke pot.
Yeah.
It's too much. No soda. And then he's like, bye.
Why you have fun?
Yeah.
Get out. Yeah.
Dude, I had a lady, I've told this before on the bonfire, but the only time I've ever gotten my ass checked was a lady doctor.
Oh, okay.
She was Romanian.
Okay.
And it was a blizzard, and I came in, and
blizzard?
I was having like
The door opens up, you're covered in fucking...
put your finger in my ass.
You've got those like tennis racket shoes.
It looks like I got the hooded, I got the furry hood,
Like an Eskimo, yeah.
Hey, I come from a land where you need to stick your finger in my butt.
Yeah.
But I showed up, and she was at the time my general practitioner. And I was like, I'm having pain. I'm worried. I'm a hypochondriac. And I had just gotten insurance.
Okay, nice.
Maybe like a year before that. So she was like, what do you want? I was like, I think...
You didn't want to say it, but you're like,
say that to a Russian doctor.
Well, you
I don't know.
what do you got? You
Start
know?
looking away. Go. I was thinking
Oh, I'm just so tight.
you could finger my butt.
Do you ever? Yeah. I got like a.
If you're not busy, you want to finger my butt?
Is that a thing you do? 'Cause
If not, I don't know. Whatever. I'm crazy. I'm drinking. I'm drunk.
I've
drunk.
misread the signs.
You know
I'm
what?
so sorry. You know.
You're just beautiful. You're so beautiful.
I'm just so alone.
She had a boy haircut. She had like a tight Romanian gymnast haircut. And I remember she was like, "Get up on table, pull down pants."
Oh my god.
And I had my snow boots on, like my heavy snow boots on. So I just remember my heels, my big rubber heels kicking.
You kicked him
Like
Ba-doom.
on the table, just putting these like two big snow boots. And then she put like a baseball amount of lube.
Okay,
Like a fucking heavy amount of lube between my deep cheeks. And then the second she stuck her finger in, I was like, "Whoa," like that. And she pulled out and went, "You feel pain? You go to proctologist." And I was like, "No, was it all right?" She's like, "You feel pain? You go to..." She just kept saying, "You feel pain? You go to proctologist."
You were like, "Was it all right?" She said, "I felt better."
She was like, "You're looser than I thought." But
Hey.
how?
There's nothing to be embarrassed
You
about.
have a big pussy. Yeah, it was.
Big American ass pussy.
And then I just remember her walking out of the room like with the feeling of disappointment in the air, and
Yeah.
then me just wiping my ass
Dude,
with paper towels.
It's so funny. Just no matter how old you get, just this, even though it's like just pure clinical, it's like it's even more funny because it's just so you're just naked and you're just like, this is fine. This
Yeah.
is everything is fine.
Just breathing against a white wall.
Yeah.
And then her just like it's cold. So you're like,
Have you ever been like checked? My appendix like burst, and I went into the hospital, and they had like all these nurses kept checking my balls. I swear to God, they just kept grabbing my balls.
Just
but
bored?
it was like so they're just killing time.
Hey. She goes, "You want to stop by 16 and grab his nuts again?" She goes, "You know what? I'm gonna get a coffee and I'll meet you there."
He just keeps letting us do it.
Yeah, we just come in, watch this.
Watch me fuck with this guy.
Sir? Okay.
And I'm just like naked, so it's like
Yeah.
it's just like so. All right.
I had the worst thing possible. I had a catheter put in.
I don't know what is that.
It's where you can't pee and they put a tube down your dick
Oh,
hole.
yeah.
And then they push on your stomach
Oh.
and piss shoots out you like
Jesus.
a water balloon.
Wow.
That you didn't tie properly.
And when you were awake during all this?
Have to be.
Holy shit. You have to be?
That's what they said.
No way, dude. They fuck. You have to be.
I guess they made me, but I had surgery on my shoulder, and one of the things is like they want to make sure you can go to the bathroom on your own before you leave. And so I tried, and I couldn't piss, and I was like, I can't piss. And then I had to go, like I really had to go. And the doctor was like, "We're gonna have to catheter. We're gonna have to give you a catheter." And they just grab your dick. It was like a nurse grabbed my dick, and then they're like, they say the thing that's that Brian Regan joke. They say you're gonna feel pressure.
Okay.
And they just put that in, and you're like, yeah, fuck. And they just put it in, and then you don't even get the sensation of peeing.
Yeah, because it just goes straight.
Because it goes through a tube.
So you're just looking at it fly out of you.
Yeah, you're just watching it fly out of you without the feeling. You don't get the shivers. You don't get anything. You're just like.
So they couldn't put you under for that? Because I had surgery for the appendix, and when I woke up, my dick was like sore. So I was like,
They're sucking it. They just
must've
fucking saw it. They were like, I gotta suck this
those
guy's
balls,
dick.
dude. I'm
Oh, we were grabbing them. Now it's just free range. They're like pigs at a trough. The second you went under, like.
yeah, it is a very common Irish. It's like a hospitality thing.
Yeah,
It's
Irish doctors like, we gotta blow this guy.
Listen,
We want him to wake up.
what if he goes under?
An old St. Michael's prayer says, suck a man while he sleeps and he wakes up with the world ahead of him. Is it some old Irish saying? By the way, that's like, I grew up with like, my family's Irish American.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
3 generations ago.
course.
It's our way to space out the fact that we didn't murder the Indians in Colorado. We clearly did. But they'll be like, an old Irish saying. It's like, you've never been to Ireland.
Yeah, it's always like.
Do you guys get sick of that?
May the wind blow on the
Yeah,
back,
that's what it is.
of his balls while he gallops.
May the rain soften his nuts so
Yeah.
that they're fun to grab.
Yeah, we get a lot of that.
Yeah, you guys have like.
But it's always weird stuff in the. It's always more country people too, where it's always just like the underside of a leaf isn't as warm as the top of the leaf, and you go, what?
Yeah.
I just asked.
Is it your guys' accents that everyone thinks you're being mystic, but
Yeah,
really you
it's
just
just
got
some-
country bumpkins saying dumb
just
shit?
some drunk fucking retard. It's just
Oh man, it'd be great
when
if
a
you.
carrot isn't straight, is it a carrot? And you go, what?
Yeah, it's just
Don't mind
basi-
it. Yeah.
It's basically a guy going, "That road ends." What? That
Yeah.
road.
And
It ends.
the locals are like, oh, fucking Martin's talking to some Americans again.
Yeah,
And they go,
and-
don't mind anything he says.
Oh my god! But
Wow.
the
so
tourists-
poetic. Yeah, the brogue.
My grandfather's from here. This is some fucking drunk
Yeah, it's
Irish
always
guy's like, whatever. Give me money. I don't give a fuck.
Puking on his fucking. Yeah.
So my uncle Edward lived here as a child. I love that. They're trying to do the
And
like.
it's always like a weird Irish name it doesn't exist anymore. We are the McSwillens. The McSwillens. Do you know?
You got that. You know that got Americanized.
That's not like another thing. There's loads of names over here where it's like
That's so fucking great.
like McMurphy is. I've never heard of McMurphy.
Ever.
It's like Murphy, and then there's Mc.
you say that to an American, like, how Irish are you?
McMurphy.
Yeah, you fucking none of us.
McSorleys.
Yeah.
You know, I've never heard that name in my life.
That's so.
There's loads,
fucking
and
funny.
I think they just died out, or they just
made it up.
hammed it up.
America makes it up.
There was
And
just some Jewish guy said, "Fuck, I'm not the Irish."
yeah, he's like, they're not going to give me problems if they say I'm McSorley. They're going to be sorely missing my income if they can't find me. My favorite one was my dad, like the total trying to bond with someone that doesn't give a shit moment.
Yeah.
My dad worked at this liquor store in San Francisco, and I used to work there with him. Like I'd go with him to work when I'd stay with him, and it was like my favorite part of my childhood with my dad was working at this liquor store.
Yeah.
Because it was fun. There was like an arcade down the street. I was friends with the kid whose dad was the mechanic next door. And so one time I'm like driving up to my grandmother's because she still lives in the area. And I was like, let me go buy Dan's Liquors. Let me go buy and fucking, and I really did the thing where I was like walking in being like, still looks the same. And I got like a
Jim Beam. Still got it.
Joe Camel, still cool as hell. And I got like a soda and a Gatorade and there's just this old Chinese lady working behind the counter. And I was like, I used to work here when I was a kid. And she's like, yeah. I just didn't give a fuck at all. I was like, when I was a kid, my dad
Yeah.
worked here. She's like, Gatorade and Coke? And I was like, yeah, Gatorade and the Coke.
Yeah.
It just beat the shit out of me.
I've had that in bars, loads of bars that I've worked in. People will come in, they go, wow. I used to live here in the 80s. It used to be called fucking fuckies, you know? I used to come here in the 80s, fuckies. Did you ever meet Big Tony? And like, no, what? He's like,
You're in the middle of a shift. You're like, fuck you, dude.
they're walking out. There was a guy beat up right there.
And he goes, wow, I met my wife at the corner of this bar. And you go, That's great. The guy currently at the corner of the bar is a homeless man that I let in here for an hour, and then I had to get the police.
I let him in during the day because I need the company.
Yeah, because I'm bored as fuck, and you can only watch SportsCenter 3 times before you want to talk to an insane person. Yeah, that's so funny. That whole like, that's the thing that I think every culture now does because of the internet is like make it about them. Like, so they go into a bar that you're working at.
Yeah.
They don't think that you're just a guy in the middle of a shift. They think like, hey, here's my part of my history. I did that to my girlfriend too much, and finally she was like, you know, other people don't share your history and they don't give you shit. And I was like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. It's like, hey, is Marie still here? It's like, Marie was like 4 bars ago.
Yeah.
And she's dead probably. And she's
Dude,
like,
this lady DM'd me when I was going to Cleveland, and she's like, we worked together, and I never answered. I just saw the DM and never answered it or whatever. And then after the show, she's like, this lady comes up to me and she's like, I'm like, hi, how are you? And she's like, we work together.
Susie?
Dos Caminos, remember? And I was like, honestly, I worked there for 5.5 years or 4.5 years. I was like, how long did you work there? And she's like, oh, I got fired in like 4 weeks. It's like, did you expect me? Do you know what the turnover of a restaurant is? You didn't even make it a month, and you're like,
come on,
but the way she did it, where she was like,
Dan.
it's your girl, Daniel, Danny do his side work. I'm like,
We used to call him D-Bomb.
yeah. And you're like, no, you didn't. No one ever called me that.
Do you remember I forgot the specials that time?
Hey, remember that? Do you remember that time that I showed up hungover to cover that shift? And you're like, I don't remember any of that.
That's so funny. For fear of being that's like my biggest fear in life. To a point where it's like people think I'm rude. Rather than be that girl who walks up and was like, "Hey, I've had dinners with people, and then I see them somewhere, and I'm like, I'm just not gonna say hello because in case they don't remember who I am."
Yeah,
and it was like, "Yo, I clearly know who you are." He's like, "Do you?"
I've done it before in kind of a way of I don't mind reintroducing myself to be like, hey Dan, we met, you know.
Yeah, I've reintroduced myself to people.
Yeah,
so many times.
I did it to Sebastian Maniscalco.
Oh yeah.
He was on the bonfire, and then I forgot he was on the bonfire because we have comics on every week.
Of course.
But you know, I didn't mean to forget about it. And then outside, he was with our producer Lou, and I was like, hey Dan, nice to meet you. And he was like, yeah. And then I guess he went full Sebastian when I left. He's like, I do the guy's show, and he doesn't remember me.
I'm playing the garden.
I'm doing a little place called Madison Square Garden, and this guy can't remember when I'm on his rinky-dink radio show. But I honestly was like, dude, we smoke weed every episode.
Yeah.
So it's hard to remember
But that's
people.
my thing is, I think, genuinely, I always just be like, oh, yo, it's me. We know each other for years. It's me. We're really close. It's Colum.
Yeah.
Colum. We've hung out so many times.
That is the best way to. That is how I treat a lot of people. Where I'll act like I'm walking in the backyard of a friend whose dog might not know me. Where I go, hey, it's me.
Yeah.
It's me. Stick your hand out.
I don't just walk up and go,
hello.
That's the funniest.
Dude, that was the
Look.
best. It's me. And I was like, dude, I don't even remember working with you. I honestly, I'm so good with faces, and I had zero that I was like,
nice.
what's up?
When was the last time you had a real job? Do you remember?
Yeah, I mean, I quit waiting tables in 2011. That was when I got to leave.
Nice.
And then I worked for Guinness.
You worked for Guinness?
Yeah.
Doing what?
That's what got me out of waiting tables. I would
you
host
a rep
these.
or something?
Yeah, I would host these shows.
Okay.
So they did this thing called the Guinness Believer Tour.
Okay.
And it was like, dude, it's so funny to bring this up with you. It's the exact thing that we were talking about, but a corporation doing it, where they just harness all that Irish bullshit for us to come over here and just piss all over all these people that just, our last name's McSorleys and all these people that are like, oh, my mother used to drink Guinness. Like it was one of the coolest experiences in my life. Gwen, my friend who hired me, literally took me out of waiting tables, and I can never thank her enough for it.
Okay.
So did my friend Kristen, who worked for Diageo. And so Diageo owns Guinness.
They own nearly
Everything.
Alcohol.
Red Stripe,
If
Harp.
you've had alcohol, Diageo's making money off it.
Best part about working at it is because I was subcontracted, technically I was a Diageo employee, and when you work for Diageo, you can go to their office in New York City,
Holy shit.
and they have a bar on the 8th floor. And if you work for Diageo, you're not allowed to pay for a drink. Wow. You can get Johnny Walker Blue
Okay.
at 2 p.m. and not have to tip.
No wonder you
I had to
became an
quit.
alcoholic.
Yeah, I had to quit. I had to fucking quit. I would just be in Midtown and I'd be like, I'm gonna go get fucked up. And I'd just go up to this office and show them this like piece of paper, and they'd be like, "Oh, have fun." And I'd go have like 2 red stripes and a Johnny Walker Blue, and then go outside to smoke a cigarette and feel like just talking shit to strangers.
Yeah,
I was like,
just day drinking in New York.
oh my God. One time I hosted a show at Caroline's and I was in the bag when I showed up because I was at Diageo for like 90 minutes. So they did this thing where they were like, we're going to do live shows hosted by a comedian, and they were like pushing a new Guinness black lager. That's what they were pushing, the black lager. Basically, Guinness is light beer. And they...
Was it the blonde one?
The black lager was like a easy to drink. It was, you know...
Guinness Light type thing?
Yes, it's exactly what it was. It was Guinness Light, but you couldn't call it that.
No.
But the coolest fucking part was when I got hired, they were like, we're going to fly you to Dublin. We got a photographer.
Okay.
And you're just going to go to all of the famous bars. You're just going to go to all the famous bars in Dublin and have Guinness. And
you probably, as an American, you're like, Guinness is disgusting.
Oh, dude, that mud water, I couldn't fucking.
I wouldn't give it to my worst enemy.
Oh my God! But I learned to love it because the coolest part was you do the tour of the poorhouse.
Yeah.
And you like get to see how Guinness is made and shit. But then you go up to the Gravity Bar.
Yes.
And I got to meet the brewmaster, Fergal Murray. I got to meet the fucking guy.
Fergal Murray?
Fergal Murray.
That's beautiful. That's like a...
It's the most Irish name possible.
Like,
Fergal Murray.
It's almost like if that was a character in a movie, I'm like, fuck off.
Fuck you. Yeah,
Fergal,
if you heard it. But he taught me how to pour. That was like part of the... they like, we're going to take video for a slideshow when we were doing the show. So he taught me how to do the perfect pour and how to get like, you know, and how to drink one. When you get your lips under the, you know, and you do the 3 drinks. Yeah. That's how he shows you how Irish people drink, where you're like, yeah, you get the 3 rings on the Guinness.
Irish people are nuts. So we'll keep going, but just for a good example of how crazy Irish people are with Guinness.
Yeah.
So the Guinness is made through the water of the Liffey, which is the river.
The River Liffey.
The River Liffey that goes through Dublin. So then they use it.
Or it's also the springs. I used to know all this shit. I used to really know all this shit.
Yeah, I'm sure. But a few years ago, Guinness came out and went, listen, we're not using the Guinness, we're not using the Liffey water anymore because technically, because there's fish bits in that water, even though it's like 0.1%, we can't call Guinness vegan.
Yeah.
So we're going to use filtered water, not the Liffey water. And so then vegans can officially drink it. And everyone in Ireland was like, absolutely fucking not. They're like, don't you touch our fucking fish bits, dude. They said,
our fish piss is ours. Dude, this is our shit.
Guinness had to come out like 2 weeks later.
Sorry.
No, we're it's like, you would never notice. No human could detect the difference between the 2 waters.
But
impossible.
I grew up in Colorado with Coors, where they suck their dicks about using Rocky Mountain. When you're up in Colorado, you better have a Coors.
Yeah.
And it was like, if they were like, found out that there's baby bits in the water, so we're going to have to use this pool, and they'd be like, shut the fuck up, you use that mountain water.
The baby bits are the best
part. The fucking best part. My father drinks Coors Banquet, and he loves it. So when I went over there, it was like 5 days of me just going to like the Boar's Head and fucking Temple Bar and like all these places and just getting fucking hammered.
That sounds like my...
It was amazing.
Yeah.
The photographer that we used was this awesome dude named Liam, and he was like, fucking Ireland's about to play a qualifying match to get in the Euro Cup. You want to go out to the stadium and drink at Slatterdy's?
Wow.
And so we just went to this bar, and I got fucking blackout. And it was one of those days where every morning I woke up, that's why I love to learn like an Irish breakfast. Like an English breakfast. Because it's like fucking...
So much protein.
God damn. It's like thick cuts of meat and just giant fluffy eggs. And I would just be brutally hungover every fucking day, but I was still smoking. It was so fucking fun. And
I'm sure.
What it was I kind of treated it like that was my release from prison because I was not waiting tables anymore. I got out because of that job.
Wow.
So I just went fucking extra hard. And then... and then it became a job because then we got back to the States and then we had to go on the road and do like these shows where you just felt soulless. It just felt so soulless being like, are you guys ready for more beer? A lot of people don't know, that if you play Red Seven Nation Army by the by the White Stripes, I'll have flashbacks because that was the song they started with, where they'd be like, "Welcome, your Guinness ambassador." Boom, 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 boom. Dan Soder, and no one gave a fuck. You got to remember, I'm a comic, but I did Conan once. No one knew who the fuck I was. I was on Bobby's podcast.
Yeah.
I'd go on, you know what, dude. But no one gave a fuck. So when someone did know me from comedy and would come out to these shows, man, it felt like seeing a schoolmate at a strip club. It felt like they were watching me slap my pussy against the ground while I was like, "Are you guys ready for more beer? Black lager is the way to drink." And they'd be like,
you could see them all. This like
the two guys would be like, dude, whenever someone would be like, "I listen to you know what, dude," I would just down my Guinness. I'd be like, "I'm gonna go get another one." I was drinking like, no shit, 7 to 8 Guinness a night.
yeah.
And then going and drinking at the bar after the shows. So I was doing like 2 to 3 Guinness a show. We'd do 3 shows in a night. And I would just...
they were poured perfect Guinness?
I poured them.
Oh, you poured them.
I made sure I poured my fucking perfect pour. And I drank it. Dude, I got so into it.
Are you still a Guinness snob? Like, I know you're not drinking it, but if you saw like a badly poured Guinness, you'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you could also tell who cleans out their lines.
Yeah.
Because like if Guinness is good, like with a clean line, you're like, it's a good beer. It's a really good beer.
Yeah.
But if it's not, it tastes like fucking metal. If you go to a bar and order a Guinness and it sucks, you're like, oh.
The head is all like bubbly and stuff.
Yeah, and you see the bubbles break down into it as it sows to stay in that like creamy. But man, I learned when I was on that trip, I'd be like, I can drink a Guinness in 2 drinks, and just be like, just try to snake that shit. But then my last night of drinking was my last Guinness show. Something happened where I got a Comedy Central half hour. Okay. And I was on the road still with Guinness doing it because we re-upped. We did like 5 cities, and they were like, Diageo loved it. They want to do another run. And I was like, I need the money, obviously.
Yeah.
But they were like, this was the caveat. Like, we'll give you health insurance for a year.
What the fuck?
And I was like, let's fucking go. I was trying to actively quit drinking when they offered that. And I was like, quitting drinking is going to take a year off. Looks like we're about to get this liver looked at.
I got a drink for my health.
Yeah, sorry, it pays the bills. And then I remember I was like, well, I won't drink during the shows. And then the president of Guinness, they got like a new CEO, and he was this Irish guy, and he came to the shows in Boston. And I got fucking blackout.
Paddy
with
McFadden.
Him. Yeah,
like Paddy McFadden.
Rainbow McGoldcoin. It was and he showed up, and we just got fucking. He was like, let's drink, and I was like, when's the next time I'm ever going to be able to drink with the CEO of Guinness? I was like, let's fucking go. He's going to pick up the tab.
Of course.
I was trying to quit smoking too, and I went and bought a pack. God, that night fucking ruled.
That was your goodbye to alcohol that night?
No. That was like, that's when I got back into it heavy. And then I got the Comedy Central half hour, and when the week we were taping the half hour was supposed to be the week we were doing the Denver Guinness shows. So they're like, we got to move Denver to the end of the tour, and I grew up in Denver. So I was like, looks like I got a perfect place to finish drinking. Yeah. So that last Saturday, I had all my friends come out to the Guinness show, and they got all free Guinness and shit for the night, and I was pouring them for it, and then we went out after, and that was my last night drinking.
Wow. So you were able to actually say goodbye to boozing nearly.
And it was such a cool way that I was like,
it was almost nice.
Yeah, and I was ready to quit. And I was like, if I'm not working for an alcohol company anymore, I don't need to drink. So let me just quit.
And then you never worked for Guinness, and your half hour
that was
came
it.
out, and then you've been comedy ever since. Nice.
It was a shitty headliner for fucking 3 years, you know? And then you just get other stuff and keep growing. But man, that was like possibly the most fun trip I've had. Was just like, hey, you're just going to drink.
Incredible.
In Ireland for fucking 4 days.
It's like a dream.
They put us up right near the River Liffey. Right there. Right on the river. And I got caught drinking other alcohol. I wasn't allowed. I signed a contract that said publicly I couldn't drink anything but Diageo products. Okay. So I can have a Red Stripe, a Harp, or a Guinness. Okay. Those are the 3 beers I could drink, and then hard alcohol, they had like everything, but I couldn't drink Jameson.
Yeah. But someone caught you with a Jameson?
Dude.
What was it? It
was like the 3rd.
They had a spy, a Diageo spy?
It was the 5th night. The 5th night we were there, I met up with like one of the guys from the marketing company that hired me. He doesn't work at Diageo.
Yeah.
He's just a fucking cool Mexican dude. And we were like down at the bar, and I was like, man, I can't drink another fucking Guinness.
Of course.
And he's like, yeah. And he's like, what do you want? And I was like, a fucking Budweiser and a shot of Jack. He's like, let's do it. And he ordered 2 rounds of 2 Jacks. And we took the shot of Jack, and I was like, this fucking rice beer is so goddamn good. I was just like suckling on this Bud Heavy. Because that was my favorite beer.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is so fucking good. And then the corporate lady from fucking Diageo just comes around to go to dinner, and I was like, shit! And I had to like move it, and she was like, what are you guys drinking? And I was like, I just did I forget what their whiskey was. Lied.
Whatever
It was
horse shit they drink.
Yeah.
Tully or something.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah.
But they had it, and I was like,
Powers.
no, this is so. It was Powers.
Powers.
And I was like, this is so fucking good.
Yeah,
And she's
yeah.
like, yeah. And I was like, shit. I looked at him like, we almost got fucking. I went outside. I remember smoking a cigarette, being like, fuck. I thought I was going to get in trouble.
ruined it all.
And I was so afraid of going back to waiting tables that I remember
Yeah.
being outside smoking a cigarette, looking at that river with all the fucking locks on it, and being like, fuck.
That's such a good. This is such a good commercial for Budweiser too.
Oh my
Because
God.
it's like they were literally like, you will lose your job, and you're like, but it's Budweiser.
Fucking Bud, brother.
Just fuck it.
You would think
Good
I'd go
old-fashioned
Coors,
innovation.
but I was like, nah, man, I want that red label. Give me that fucking Bud Heavy.
Bud is expensive in Ireland too. It's like because it's imported,
Yeah?
and just because it's expensive, we all think it's like a good, classy drink.
Really?
If I'm at a bar and someone's drinking Bud, I'm like, well, look at
Whoa!
fucking money bags here. Look, whoa.
It was fun learning about like the whiskeys that, because you think Jameson, and then you go over there and like the Irish bartenders are like, no, you want Green Spot? You want Redbreast?
The spots are the best.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
I loved Green Spot, and then I brought home a bottle of Redbreast,
Okay.
and I was like, that whiskey was fucking great.
Yeah.
That was the thing that bottle didn't last a week when I brought it back. Because I was just like, fuck,
Just
let's go.
crushing it.
Yeah, I was just fucking. I was drinking it in these plastic cups, just living under the train in Queens. I think Vecchione. That was for sure. Vecchione was like sick of me. We'd only been living together like maybe 2 years, but when I got that Guinness money started rolling in, I started smoking butts inside. It was a fucking problem. I was watching The Wire,
Wow.
just smoking.
Well, I hope that all this talk of fond memories.
is gonna be
This
it.
isn't the relapse of just
Yeah,
going,
this is
dude,
it.
just one last dance.
Yeah,
One last
come on, baby, Daddy's got one last dance in him.
slatteries.
It would. Oh man, that would. If when I went back to do the festival, the Vodafone festival.
Yes. Yeah.
That was kind of weird because it was like I'd walk by a bar and be like, "Oh fuck." It was
yeah.
the same thing I did where I was like,
Yeah.
you know that I was blackout drunk right here.
You walk in.
Dude, one time, the second time I went and did it in 2019, I did 2 nights at the Vodafone Comedy Festival, which is
Yeah.
like
Which is such a good festival.
so fucking fun.
It's the best. Irish audiences are like the best audience in the world, nearly. I think, but there's just not enough of them. So
Once
there's
you
no-
get them, you
Yeah.
fucking. I watched
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Rory Scovel murder
Yeah,
in
yeah.
a way that I was like, this is one of my favorite shows I've ever watched.
Yeah, I saw him murder one time. I think we might have been watching it. We definitely watched them together one time.
Yeah, did he do that abortion joke?
Yeah,
Where he's like, I think abortion should be legal. And everyone clapped and he goes, shut the fuck
he
up.
goes-
Shut the fuck up. You don't know why I'm saying yes?
Yes, that was it. He goes-
Because I think you should abort the babies that are going to become abortion doctors.
So he goes, I think, whatever he says should be illegal. And then everyone starts like making noise. And he goes, shut the fuck up. He goes,
Yeah.
obviously I'm luring you in.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was so fun. But man, the last time I did it in 2019, I only got to do 2 sets. And I did the
Okay.
first night I went, it was fucking unbelievable.
Okay.
And I met up with Michelle Wolf. She was there. And she didn't like her set on Friday night. But I was like, fuck it. That was great.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I was about to go to Fringe. I was like, man, I got so much confidence. The second night, I went on early and fucking ate it. I ate it so hard that I just left the festival and I walked off stage. Wolf met up with me and she was like, what happened? And I was like, I fucking bombed. And we walked as far away from that festival, the gardens as we could to get dinner somewhere else where I was like, I don't give a fuck where we
These
eat.
fucking petty
Just
fucking
fucking,
dumb
well, yeah, I'm half Swedish too, motherfuckers. It's like you're against your own thing. But man, I like,
Yeah, if you eat it in Ireland, you take it to the fucking face.
Yeah, it's
like an urban crowd where they'll just fucking be like, you suck. Or,
dude, I was doing drug stuff and it was
Oh,
like
no.
kind of an early show.
Well, if you do, because no one really smokes weed. So if
And
you're
I was talking about doing mushrooms and shit, and they were
Yeah.
like,
well, yeah,
who's this fucking loser?
yeah, it was so funny. I remember before. Who did I see? Some Americans don't tailor their act in any way.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works because we can get it, but sometimes you're just like, that's crazy what you're doing right now. Like you're talking like in-depth stuff about O.J. Simpson or something. We're like,
Yeah,
no
I
one-
don't even know who this is.
Yeah, they're talking about they're talking about the Houston Rockets or something, like the '78 dynasty or what. I'm like, what?
Yeah, why? You think I know who Clyde Drexler is?
There was who one of my favorite ones I ever saw was you know, the big Leonard Oots.
Yeah.
He has this bit about the difference between like a black family's home and a white family's home.
Yeah.
And he's all like, and he's like, sort of talking to people, and you can just sort of tell there's like 400 people in a tent.
Yeah.
And he's like, he says like, y'all remember the first time you ever went into a white person's home? And we're all like, no.
I've been going into a white person's home.
That's the only option.
He's
like, you go into a black person's home, they ain't got real juice. And we're
Yeah.
like, what are you talking about? We were like, so
Dude, that was that same festival. The first
Yeah.
night he opened for Dez, I think, and
Okay.
I opened for him too. And and Leonard went first and fucking murdered.
Yes.
It was in the big tent, and
Yeah.
he you know, it like
Yeah.
it was like a slow to start, but once he got on,
Of course.
murdered. And then I went up there and did a bit. They gave me zero. I mean, the crowd gave me fucking zero. But I fought my way back. It was an okay set.
Yeah.
Okay set. and then everyone was out. You might have been with us when this fucking happened.
I don't know.
We all went out. All the comics went out.
They got to Whelan's, the after party in Whelan's? Okay.
We went to Whelan's. This was like the first night. It was
Okay.
like maybe like a Wednesday or a Thursday night.
Yeah.
And we go out and we're all drifting back to the hotels. And
Okay.
like we're still in the big group before people broke up and went to the two different, like I was in the lower hotel and there's like the nicer hotel. And this fucking woman walks up to our group and sees Leonard Oots and she's like, "You were fantastic. You were so funny. I loved your set." And he's like, Thank you very much." And she's like, "The guy after you was pure shite." Like that. And I was just standing there and I was like, "Well, that hurt." And she looked and she goes, "I was kidding." I was like, "No, you weren't. Don't you fucking lie to me. You can shit on me, but don't
Yeah.
lie to me."
Yeah.
And dude, she dropped that on me and just left. And then I remember Chris Gethard just looked at me and went, "You got to go to sleep with that tonight." And I was like, "Fuck you, dude." Fuck. It was
That's,
like,
that's happened.
I remember
before.
that.
I've had that before, having a smoke, and then just hear people go, "Yeah, that fucking middle guy's terrible." And I'm like,
I was in the bathroom of Comedy Works one time. It's like before I headlined there. So I think it was the weekend. I featured one weekend there, and it was the same thing. I was taking a dump in the bathroom,
no.
and these guys were like,
it's like,
"What was up with that last guy?" And you're like,
oh my God.
"I thought he was pretty good." You like trying to change your
His name's
voice.
Dan Soder. He's actually pretty good.
Oh, he's pretty cool.
Maybe you just didn't get it.
Yeah, maybe you're a fucking idiot. You're still pooping. Maybe you don't fucking get jokes.
What do you-
Fuck.
Who'd you like, Ellen? You
Yeah,
fucking suck.
fuck you. Oh, God.
And everyone's like, that smell. He's like, is it bad?
I don't know.
I'm
I
retard.
got nothing. I
got retard
I'm
nuts.
a nose retard. I'm in middle school. That was like the most embarrassing thing was 2 8th graders one time caught me in the bathroom shitting.
Oh, wow.
And they wouldn't let me out. And it was
So
their
funny.
off period. And I had to get to class. And they're like, "We're going to find out who you are." And I was just sitting there on the toilet like, "Leave me alone." Just like this 11-year-old kid being like, "Stop."
That's funny.
That's the end of the video. Hope you liked it. If you want the rest of the interview with Dan Soder, you're gonna have to go over to patreon.com/Colum Tyrrell. It's only $1. There's 30 more minutes of this conversation, and he says some stuff that will get him cancelled. So go check it out. Good luck. Peace.